Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby Chow and my goal is to help you make, save and invest money, whether that is on a high salary income or on a very low budget. That's my goal, to help you save as much money as possible and to make as much money as possible and to live your best and free life. So today I'm going to be talking about how to save money when you're on a low income or on a sporadic income, that maybe you're self-employed, maybe you're working from home, or you're decided to take a career break and maybe you're moving away from your current career, you're moving into being self-employed, or you're moving into a completely different job and you're going to have a time where you won't have income and you want to be able to save as much money as possible while you're transitioning. Whatever your situation is, today my aim is to help you save money and maybe give you some ideas that you haven't thought of on ways to do that. Step number one is to create a budget. I think this is the most important step. It's probably the most boring step for people who don't like numbers and spreadsheets and all of that fun stuff. It doesn't have to be a spreadsheet. You could do it on paper, you could do it in a planner, you could do it however works for you is the best budget. There is no special amazing budget. It's just whatever works best for you that you can consistently and continuously track your spending. That's what's going to be the perfect budget. So a budget is simple. You just look at how much you spend on a monthly basis and how much you need to live. So track your rent, track your bills, track all your spending, food, groceries, divide them into categories and track it monthly. Man, I did not think there would be a day where I would budget consistently, but I have. It's the one thing that's been consistent in my life over the last couple of years. So create a budget, make it simple, make it work for you, track your spending, save the rest. I know it seems simple, but it's so effective. It will change your life. It will change your life. And it will show you where you're spending the most money and it will show you where to cut back. And that's really what helped me the most, because I realized I was spending so much money on takeaway. It was bad. It was really bad. And I didn't know how bad it was until I saw the numbers. So you need to see the numbers to kind of change your mindset, and just having that visual representation helps so much. And it does something up here. It just starts to change something. Something changes and you see it and you're like, wow, I cannot believe I'm spending this much on this. I need to cut that. And I think psychologically your mind decides that I'm stopping it. That's basically what happened with takeaway. We used to eat out so often. We'd have like takeaway like a couple of times a week. Now, I mean, you know, everything that's happened, we had takeaway a few times, but if I'm hungry and I don't really have much in the house, I don't think takeaway automatically like I used to. Or if I can't think of something to make, I don't think takeaway. I think, what do I have in the fridge and what can I make in my pressure cooker? Literally, I was like, what can I put in the pressure? Because I've usually got frozen meat. I'm like, I can make, like yesterday we were hungry and I was like, I'm gonna make soy sauce chicken in the pressure king. And I did it and it was delicious. And it took me like 35 minutes from frozen chicken to finished product, and we were at the table eating our lunch. It was delicious. Anyway, so I digress. Create a budget and use it all the time. Number two is stop unnecessary spending. Anything you don't need to buy, don't spend your money on it. If you're intentional, you've decided I'm gonna save as much as possible, like letting go of that spending should be pretty easy. It's gonna be hard at first, but you know, like with any habit, the longer you do it, the more second nature it becomes to you. So if you've decided that I'm not gonna spend money on takeaway anymore like I did, you're gonna stop spending money on it. If you've realized that me being financially independent and free is more important than me having like this instant gratification, it just happens. So be intentional with your money. Stop spending where you don't need to spend money. I realized that I had a lot of subscriptions. I had snack subscriptions, I had coffee subscriptions. I cut them back. I kept only necessary subscriptions. I do subscribe to Patreon because there's like one creator that I want to support. In my budget, I have a section for giving. So that Patreon subscription that I've had for like, I don't know how long, a year maybe, to support this one creator who's brought me joy over the years. Her name's Ariel Bassett. She's like OG kind of booktuber, doesn't really do book videos anymore. She does like house content now. And I love supporting her. I've loved watching her content and I've loved her updates on Patreon. So I subscribe to that, and that's my like giving part of my budget. So if there are some things in your subscription that work like that, I kept it because it's part of my budget. Or I kept my coffee subscription, but I only receive a package of coffee every 60 days now instead. And sometimes I even pause it if we've bought some from the grocery store, which is cheaper. but it's like a treat. Every 60 days, it's like £6 for coffee. As I say it out loud, I'm like, that's £3 a month. It's not that bad, but still, sometimes I pause it because I'm like, oh, £6 a lot, but it's good coffee and it's ethically sourced, and I believe in the company, so I've been happy to put my money towards that. There are some things that cost more that are better for the environment, and I've decided to keep them. And I feel like that's a trade-off for me. I try and support companies that I believe in. I try and support practices that I believe in. Sometimes that costs a bit more, but then that means sometimes I will do them less often, but I'm still doing it, if that makes sense. Anyways, cut down your spending where you can. Also, downgrading plans. Downgrading plans is a great way to cut money. So number one, if you don't need Amazon Prime, get rid of it. If you have a Netflix subscription and it's only you watching it, do you really need it in 4K? If you can find free subscriptions that you can have, like I have Apple TV that came with my new MacBook Pro, that's a year free of Apple TV. Of course I'm gonna keep that, like it's free. The same with Disney Plus. I got a free 6-month subscription with Disney Plus that O2 were randomly giving away. I took it instantly. So we've been watching Disney Plus, but I'll probably cancel that after the first month. Like after this is the end of it, I'm gonna cancel it once I've watched WandaVision, which comes out next week maybe. So pull your budget apart, cut back where you can, and then start to rebuild, which is what I've kind of done over the years. The next one is to make some extra cash. This one will kind of depend on your situation, but if you can start a side hustle, if you can start like a side business, it's not gonna make money at first, but it is going to be something that's going towards your long-term growth and your income in the future. So if it's something that you want to do, because side hustles aren't for everyone, like creating a business isn't for everyone. Some people just don't want that, and that's so fine, that's okay. If that isn't your plan for life, it's not something you want to start, don't force yourself to start it, honestly, because you're not going to stick at it and you're not going to want to do it, and it's not going to bring you joy. If it doesn't bring you joy, you're just going to be burning the candle at both ends and it won't be worth it. Maybe you could take on some extra work, you could take on some extra hours, you could do like a 0-hour contract job, some other kind of work that will bring you income. That doesn't necessarily mean starting your own business or starting your own side hustle. Next on my list is to sell what you don't need, what you don't use. If you have things lying around the house, start with your tech, because that's usually the most expensive things. If you have things lying around your house that you don't need, sell them. Facebook Marketplace is really big now. I know so many people who use it, so many people who sell things on Facebook Marketplace, buy things on Facebook Marketplace. Another way to save money is to buy secondhand. If you can buy secondhand, do it. Do it as much as possible. Unless you have a reason for buying new, where you can, try and buy used. If you don't want to sell some of your possessions, say you do have lenses or equipment that you do use but not often, but you do want to keep, maybe consider renting it out so then you can still make some income from it, but you also get to keep it. So in the UK we have a site called Fat Llama. You can rent camera equipment, projectors, drones, sewing machine, vans. Oh, there are vans on here? Oh my god, that's so cute. Holy, they got camper vans on here. There's like converted, sorry, wow, wish I hadn't seen that. I can't drive, by the way, but they have converted like camper vans on there, and that's my dream to build one. Anyway, so maybe one day I'm gonna rent one out on there. But Fat Llama, so you can list your items to be rented out to people, and you just literally hand it off, rent, and then they pay you. They can have it for however many days you set aside. So that's a great way to make some side income. And the last thing I suggest is to reinvest in yourself. So whether that is upgrading your career, like investing money to take a course that allows you to get promoted, or maybe leveling up in your career, whether that is completely switching careers and investing money into moving into a different field. Before I got sick, I was taking a CS50 course on Harvard Online to learn how to do programming. So that's something that I'm interested in, something that I want to kind of move into in 2021. I might be doing it as a freelancer. I might end up working full-time in it, I don't know yet. But we'll see how I feel at the end and where I decide that I want to specialize in, and whether it's something that I want to continue doing after I complete the course. Maybe there's a side field that you can move into within your career that pays more, that will allow you to save faster so that you can retire earlier, because maybe you want to do coast financial independence, which is kind of what I want to do. I want to coast. I want to do coast fi. I will make a whole video on financial independence at some point because I think it's important, and I would love to share what my plans are for financial independence with you guys. Investing in yourself will bring you the biggest reward. There is nothing that can bring you more value than reinvesting in yourself. That's where you're gonna make the most savings in the long run. All that money that you save, take a portion of it, create a part of your budget for learning. I have a learning fund in my budget. I don't always use it because I don't always buy books, I don't always take courses, but it's there. It's there and it's planned for every month. So create that in your budget to help you switch your mindset from exchanging your time for money and more towards exchanging your money for knowledge, which will free up your time so that you can do more things that you want to do. Did that make sense? It might not have, but you know what I'm trying to say. So those were my tips for how to save money on a low income. I feel like, especially now where things are all up in the air, it's important that we try and find new ways to save money, find new ways to make more money as well where possible. I am always on the lookout and always try to figure that out. I hope some of these tips were helpful and you can save more in 2021. Please do give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe down there. Until next time, bye guys.